the North Cat, baby, I'm a boss. Carolina barbecue sauce with the slaw. I'm the safe, the cellar, and the vault. I'm the best, the effect, and the cause. I'm the law.
Moment there, but thank you very much, gentlemen. It's time. We're going to Sandhawk. It's time for the jungle as we head over to the commentary team. It's game number 4 here of PGC.
So again, Erangel is done and dusted for the day. 1 through 3 games played. We're going to be coming back to Erangel for games 10, 11, and 12 to close out things. But now we are heading to the jungles of Sandhawk.
Yeah, and we're going to see who's going to be the king of the jungle. Toffee's saying potentially it might be Lazarus, and they finally showed up in match number 3. Will they continue that here into Sandhawk for match number 4? And one thing I want to point out going into this game now, Bro, is at the end of the game, at the conclusion, we're already a third of the way through.
It goes by so fast.
It does. And
it really
means
does.
for the teams that are at the bottom end of the standings, they need to find some kills and points in this game.
And that's the thing, is you look at this lobby, every single team in this 16-team lobby is capable of having a game like Lazarus just had, or like Genji had in the first 2 games. Every single one can have one of these big multi-kill wins. The question is, can they do it in time?
Pinat?
Hello?
FaZe and Tempo Storm are going to be playing a game of cat and mouse potentially at Painan. Malouk with a nice little barrel roll onto the top of the building. M416 early for 8C. I wasn't expecting this to happen so early. For both of these 2 teams, this is such a vital exchange as Uber gets me Luke. Tempo Storm, well, the day goes from bad to worse. They're sitting in last place right now. This is maybe not the play that they should have taken.
Making their way across. This could, this could turn into a 3-way fight real quick.
Double tap from JRY onto Profi. He's going to fire back, but then goes now for the first aid kit. No nade, only 1 smoke. So utility is short there for Profi. Oh, he's so close to JRY, and he just pops up out of the grass. Nice spray down. Oh, return fire though from Leo. And it's 1-for-1 between GEX and QM. Profi gets Liga. So QM coming off worst best right now. GY White finds Nerf at the rock, has only 1 nade, needs to be perfect with it. Genesis pushing up, QM in a disastrous position here, getting pinched from both sides.
Nerf had a huge flank coming through. Profi's going to find GYY. H went down to about 50% health. He's going to have to stop and heal up. Is Wu Fang now the last remaining member up, and he's trying to run from the Genesis squad, but GEX is still spread out. As we see Tempo and FaZe also started to pop back off again.
With 2 in here, Alo and Luke 12. They are going to pull off actually perfect timing, but they still don't know that T1 are close by. Adder's going to open it up. Wow, that's so quick. Tried to go for the transfer onto Luke 12 rather than the flush. Now primes the frag grenade. Luke 12's in a world hurt. He's immediately knocked down. T1 clean and precise onto Lazarus. Off the back of a decent game in match 3, they're down to 2 players into match 4.
Lazarus in a really rough spot there. They had to do something to try to get away from the guns of Navi, but unfortunately they over-rotate a little bit too far, run right into T1. That's going to be them down to 2, but fortunately for them, it looks like Purdy Curdy and Uncivil going to be able to make it in just fine. VC finally deciding to join the game.
Well, it is only phase 2, so it's still only 1 damage, or roughly 1 damage per second.
Well, they're sitting on a ton of health here. I mean, you can see 10 bandages, 3 health kits. They should be all right. They're coming in for, it looks like a long wrap all the way around to the east side, so smart play, realizing that the north and the west most likely going to be pretty packed right now.
You just wonder where they're going to decide their entry point, though. Will it be into Navi? That could be disastrous, potentially. As Entus Ace will find themselves a crate, at least for Joy. 24 seconds till phase 3. Will this continue on to Quarry? If it does, W-click for him, still holding their previous positions from what we saw before. So is FaZe and Genesis as well on the other side. As we go back over to T1, who have potentially found the last 2 members of Lazarus, Purdy Curdy and Uncivil waiting. They've got the information on T1. This time, things have turned around. Never mind, it hasn't at all. Uncivil spotted immediately by Jeff Locker. Only Purdy Curdy remains for Lazarus inside of the hut. Circle goes north. Quarry still in, it's on the south side. GX actually a really decent compound on the north side of Quarry. Navi are going to pull back as well, just to the west of Barn.
Also, we're noted FaZe Clan held 4 up still. They have a compound just to the west of Quarry right now. Is GEX going to turn their attention to T1? Adder is going to get down and flushed by Purdy. He's going to get 1 point for Lazarus, even though they do go out in 16th place.
1 point enough, though? I don't think it is. It's not good enough for Lazarus. They won't be happy with that performance on Sandhawk. Navi and Genji. Bestalot opens it up with a knockdown onto Esther. Aduzi holding the backside as Taman just throws in a wild nade. He doesn't have the information, but he was just trying to find some. You can see how close Aduzi is to pushing on to Genji as Loki goes for the revive onto Esther.
Actually
holding in pairs of 2 for Genji.
It's huge for them to be able to get that res off. Navi not in a position to really push the down. So you can see they've instead taken that time to spread out and kind of wrap around the entire squad here.
Nades continue to be thrown out. PO's only got 1 more remaining. Genji started so well in the first 2 matches. Match 3 was only 1 point. Potentially, if they get wiped by Navi here, it might be back-to-back 1 point. Oh, headshot from Bestalot, but it's not enough to get the knockdown. PO, 32 health, throws out the nade, but again, it's wild, it's not precise. It's not towards a Navi player. And Bestalot is able to still hold his position for Navi. Minute 20 seconds still phase number 4. As a lot of teams haven't actually moved that much here based off this phase 3 circle. Aduzi still holds the angle. Still has 2 smokes. And there's one, or actually a couple of smokes here in the center of this compound, but they are starting to dissipate shortly.
Yeah, no grenades left for the front man here. Aduzi has spent everything. Bestalot looks like he's still trying to throw stuff. That's going to be a smoke for right now, but Genji is completely surrounded. Look at this. Senya is going to get the down onto Loki, and this could be the signal for Aduzi to go.
PO was making the mad dash, and he gets knocked down by Pokemolonoid. Navi have turned it around here onto Genji. Taman and Esther, all that remains still inside of the main shack. And that means Senya's being able to move up. And Navi can potentially send Genji packing out super early, potentially with 0 kills, Poro. And this is going to really widen the race for first place once again, almost resetting after the first 2 matches.
Absolutely huge. They still have these 2 kills left to get, though. Esther gets taken extremely low. You can see this is also being overseen by Entus Ace. They keep sending shots over this way, which may be preventing Navi from pushing, but Senya with a great grenade onto Esther. Taman now the last one up.
Oh, he doesn't quite make it into the window. That might have actually gone to the back room and got Taman holding the window position. Navi have dealt with 3. 1 remains. It's Taman. This fight has dragged out, but because they're at the compound, no one's actually pushed up to them. There's our phase 4 circle. It's good news for Navi. Once they deal with Genji, they've got the compound as well. This might just be their game. Nade thrown in. No, never mind. It's a smoke. And now they're just going to push in, though. Bestalot with the QBC. He's going to stop that revive. Navi send Genji out in 15th position with 0 kills, 0 points. And again, for first place, stays at 43. The target remains the same.
Big plays coming out from Navi there. They have center compound now, or as center as you're going to get here, and they take out Genji in the process. Huge news for everybody in the entire game as we see Rumblers now trying to figure out how they're going to make their way in from the south.
Entus Force pushing up towards the buildings of WClick and 4AM. FaZe have actually vacated. That's where Rumblers have pushed up to. Still no movement from Genesis. This is around the Quarry region. TSM out to the west. They might find themselves pinched between FaZe and potentially GEX on that compound if they don't push into the compound and take the fight early. FaZe will be pushing up from behind them, trying to cross the road first, though, without being spotted by either Rumblers or Genesis. Again, North America always just seems to find North America. Cherry popping with a knockdown. It's a sharp shot as Gustav does in fact spot Mexi.
Yeah, the south side is an absolute mess right now. TSM holding court over things from this hillside. You can see they're getting the downs on a FaZe. FaZe trying to make their way up, but TSM has such good positioning right now. Multiple lines of sight onto this.
FaZe, I know FaZe Sunday is a real thing, I believe now, but you don't want to leave it all to FaZe Sunday. You've got to get some points here today on Saturday, and right now they're not getting any. As 8C will go down, only Uber and Fuzzface remain. They need to still push into the circle. They haven't even achieved that yet, and that blue is moving. 57 seconds till phase 5. TSM in a better position, but they're still not in a grand position either. But they're in a spot where they can wipe out the rest of FaZe. Microfry pushing into Quarry. This is less than ideal. Zampa's been knocked down though. Sharp shot extremely low, and the last one standing for Tempo Storm on the bottom of the overall rankings with 4 points. And they will remain on the bottom of the rankings with 4 points.
Rumblers still have 3 up. They have the time here to get the res onto Cherry Poppins. Once they do, they have to get across the street that's being overseen by Genesis. They are not out of the woods by any means just yet here.
Uber, this is a rough spot to be in for both himself and Fuzzface. TSM still holding higher, watching, waiting for FaZe to make their move. They might just give this up and say, you know what, we don't have a play here. Side of the blue, deny points to TSM. That's not very nice, but it is a play, and probably the only play that FaZe had. South we go towards WClick in 4 AM. 4 AM have been catching up to Genji so far. After those first 2 games, this might be the game where they might almost tie them, Poro, if it continues in this sort of direction.
This is really rough here for Rumblers as you see what they're having to push into. Entus Force has the low ground. WClick has the compound on the west side of the street. 4 AM, meanwhile, just sending all types of shots across the way.
FaZe have moved, by the way. They're not going to die to the blue. They were just healing up, trying to wait for TSM to move, coming in extremely late. They actually might go into Genesis as Cherry Pop and Micro Fright both eliminated separately, ZGG and Kale. Entus Force inside of North Quarry. Fuzzface knocked down. He does get a return from Uber. Finds the flush onto Profi. It's 1 extra point that they wouldn't have got, but they still go in 12, and it's still not enough. And TSM with 5 kills now, thanks to Rory. H-Win's close by. That might make it kill number 6.
H-Win's just going to run for it. He's going to play the cliff's edge. Try to stay alive for a little bit longer, but you can see
he's gone.
Going down there just exposes you to a whole different team.
And this is where TSM have got to be making sure they're not kill happy. They've got to go for position as well. They're still out to the far west. We've seen Gustav knocked down by Xiao Lu. 4 AM, great position as a doozy finds a double onto Domu and Summer. They're going to be cleaned up by Pokemon and Alpaca. Mickey with a nade towards Tide. Will be this potential to clean him up? Yes, it will. Mickey confirms the kill for Ace.
Navi coming alive in this game, and you love to see it here as they still have a compound in on the very northern side. It's going to be a question of whether what this next circle shift cuts out. If it cuts out the south side, it's going to be crazy.
Over towards the northwest, GEX and T1.
Indigo resing Rory. Quick shots coming out from a COD.
Able to get shot away. Cade knocked down as well. GEX down to Sophia. Sophia is inside of the circle in the compound as well. Gustav knocked down again. That's his second knock. That's from Forever. 4 AM doing a lot of work from that higher ground position in that compound south, just near Quarry. It is quite elevated compared to, say, for example, WClick. What this is going to mean is WClick are not going to be able to really get kills because they don't have the vision that 4 AM have got, which is why you're seeing 4 AM in the kill feed. It's why they're now only 11 points behind Genji on the total rankings. 10 teams remain at the 19-minute mark of Sandhawk match 4. Sophia holding on for dear life as the cat is kind of doing the same for T1. Navi, this is their game so far now. Iroh's eliminated by Wufang.
Oh, Wufang's still alive.
Doors open, bye-bye.
Oh, good night, sir. Sophia going to be taken out quick there by a COD. That's 7 kills now for T1, turning up now in Sandhawk. But Wufang, as we were mentioning, the last player alive for QM from quite some time ago, has just been hanging out in this compound, or this shed, rather.
Oh, spots Michael too as well. Wufang from a high ground position is smoked up. Inside, jumps out. Michael going for the first aid kit, 30 health. Wufang is almost like James Bond at the moment, just running around, trying to peek and shoot from every angle. Just going to vacate the area completely, try and stay alive, get into the placement points. Senya knocked down by Mickey. The nade from Michael. He doesn't realize, though, that it's been vacated. He throws another one, still expecting, because he hasn't landed the first 2, he actually still thinks he's in there.
Wufang managing to stay alive. He's playing the rocks. Look at this Navi, though.
Oh, no.
Things have turned completely against them. They had to wrap around the north side, but they ran into...
Well, they didn't run into anyone. Entus Ace spotted them from the other side of the map. This is Sandhawk after all. The angles and the way that the terrain is means you could be completely eliminated from the other side of the map without even realizing it. No chance for a card. Pokemon stays alive for Navi. 5 kills, gets them into the top 7 teams remaining. Make it 6 now because there goes Michael. Finally, stayed alive long enough, though, for TSM to at least get some extra points. At one point, it almost looked like he might go at 9th out of 5 teams. They just go 1 by 1.
Wufang got picked off there as well, so Pokemon finding himself all alone. He does have Rang staring down at him. The new circle has popped 4 AM. Looks like they might be trying to make a wrap here. Wayless has already made his way to the street.
Entus Ace, Entus Force, 4 AM, Navi, and WClick. Massive game potentially for WClick here as well. 4 points gained so far. Entus Force, obviously, and along with Entus Ace and 4 AM, they're the 3 that are catching up to Genji here off the back of the last 2 games of Genji's performance. Silson so low, 2 health, Wayless with a triple tap. The nade towards Doya, not enough to get the knockdown. Half health gets towards Indigo, the MVP of Entus Force. You can see the total rankings to your left of screen. And Genji no longer holding a significant advantage. Wayless with a knockdown onto Silson. W-Click in 14th position with just 9 points. Needs to try and capitalize from this game. Rybo will get Rybo will get forever. 4 angry men are down to 2 angry men with ZGG and Xiao Lu on the edge of the blue. And potentially Entus Ace have been fed this game. They are in the prime pole position.
They just managed to steal away all those kills from W-Click as well. Rybo now the last one up. You see Songjang is hiding just on the corner here. Doya trying to get some kind of angle to give him some protection, but 4AM starting to make their push here, but Entus Ace has them dead to rights.
They are gone out 4th place, and I think this one just about wrapped up. Doya's in a decent position, but Entus Ace are in the best position. 2 left for 4AM, although they're going to go out here. Doya picks up 1. ZGG denies himself, though, at least. 9 kills for Ace, going up against the sister team, Entus Force.
This is a huge, huge game for Entus Ace, and this is going to be really rough for Entus Force to push anything here, as Ace does have all 4 up. They have a compound, but we've seen magic happen before with these Korean teams.
The real question is, Songjang, Doya, do you have smokes? Are you able to forge a path forward towards Entus Ace? Obviously, still the downside is, the fact is, it's a 2v4. Open the shots up is from Ace. Songjang gets to the rock, needs to find a knockdown. Doya gets Joy. This is going to help out. Never mind. Mickey will be able to get Songjang, and that will be the end of it for match 4 on Sandhawk. It's OGN Entus Ace with 11 kills.
Entus Ace not wasting any time in the end there. Once they saw that they had the advantage, they pushed it. And they come out ahead on top of their sister team, as you said, with a huge win on Sandhawk. That is everything that these 2 teams needed to keep the chase of Genji still alive.
It is career day.